But next I'll talk about an important aspect of Xi Jinping's administration. I call it the Red Second Generation administration. Now, what does Red Second Generation Hong Er Dai mean? Well, it means this generation is the offspring of the revolutionaries. And one characteristic of these people is that they hold an identity as successors to the revolutionary principles. And they have a very powerful sense of ownership of the system, I would say. Well, this is some kind of a display of socialism with Chinese characteristics, because it much depends on, in Chinese, it would be 血统主义, the belief in lineage, as it were, the belief in blood. That's very feudal, I would say, but still in the political culture of China today, it is very important to be an offspring of the revolutionaries. And this compares with the concept of princelings, 太子党. What does 太子党 mean? Also the offspring of the revolutionaries. So the definitions are the same, but the connotations are rather different, because when we say 太子党, it implies that they are holders of common political and or economic interests. Now, I said that Hong Er Dai, well, Xi Jinping, of course, is a Hong Er Dai. As we know, they hold their identity as successors to the revolutionary principles. But what about Xi Jinping? Yes, I would say he's one of those. He is somebody who experienced the hardships of the Cultural Revolution, but I would say that his experience and his father's experience are rather different things. You know, his father used to be one of the vice premier of the PRC, one of the revolutionaries, and he went through a lot of hardship together with people like Deng Xiaoping. And they would never think of reusing concepts that were used very much by Mao and his clique during the Cultural Revolution. But as we see in the cases of Bo Xilai, for example, or with Xi Jinping now, they don't hesitate to use the ideas and principles that were there and the concepts that were there during the Cultural Revolution. Because I think that's because their experience, the Hong Er Dai's experience of the Cultural Revolution, is not completely negative, but they see it as an experience through which they were trained. They went through this, and they successfully overcame this hardship that they had to go through. And that's a very important difference that I find. And I think I've been living in China for the past 2 months or so. I'm now a visiting scholar at the Peking University, and I really feel that people are changing. The last time I lived in Beijing was from 1996 to 1998, and they have a stronger desire for equality, democracy, and fairness. If you just had a quick look at this interesting survey that was conducted by the Institute of Sociology of the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences last year, they were asking what should be the standards for judging what a good society is. And the answers, I mean, the people who answered the questionnaire could choose 4 or 5 choices from a list of values. And most of these choices, the values, consisted of the so-called socialist core values that the party is now promoting. And the top was equality. People wanted equality most. And second was democracy. God knows what they had in their mind when they voted for democracy. But number 3, wealth and strength. And number 4, civilization and fairness and justice. And patriotism only came at 8th place. So I do wonder if Xi Jinping, in his attempt to unite the nation, unite the party through nationalism, arousing nationalistic sentiments through his promotion of the concept of the China dream, will succeed or not. And I find that in China, increasingly, people are worried about their future. Thank you very much.